A little bit.
It's definitely intentional. All right, guys, if you are tuning in, Flying Monkeys Wargaming Podcast, where Wargaming was easy, it would be your mom. And we're doing things a little bit different tonight. We have a guest for a little bit. I might let him stay on. I might boot him off. I'm not sure yet. But
I think he's talking about you, Sean.
the
I think so.
the Warhammer Zero, Jason Horn. What's up, Jason?
Hey, what's up? Honestly, my favorite meme of all of last year was Warhammer Hero is actually Warhammer Zero from Koozie Gate. So thank you, whoever created that. Probably Dan Salmons. But
Probably.
thank
You heard there in the background, for now with us, Sexiest Thighs and 40k, Sean Dilly. What's happening, man?
Hey guys, how are you?
All right, we'll have the other guys here with us later. For now, though, Jason wanted to come on and he's got a GT coming up. When is your GT?
My GT is the last weekend last weekend in April. So the 24th and 25th. It's we do the Iron Halo, which is a huge convention, with all the events. But this War for the Wooden Spoon. It's kind of a play on our RTTs that we do, the Battle for the Wooden Spoon. So this is April 24th, 25th in Bartlesville. Tickets are on sale. You just go to the ironhalo.org site. You click on War for the Wooden Spoon. You can pick up it goes on some information about the event, kind of standard tournament stuff, code of conduct, training guidelines, etc. And so we're only planning on having 14 to 15 tables at Paper Games. So that's going to be pretty full. We can probably add some more space depending on if we need. But I just wanted to see how many people will want to come out to our event. And so if you click on, and then you can actually get your tickets. We actually have 10 people signed up already. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah. Or 8 people signed up. Excuse me. So
I think I'm already signed up.
Yep, you are. You were like one of the first people, so that was pretty cool.
I should get a prize for that.
I mean, I won't red card you for showing up.
Okay.
How about the first mask?
I'm not sure you have the guts to give somebody a red card. I've never seen that.
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
Maybe not at your event, but I do typically hand out cards at first round. So.
Okay. Oh, Scuba Steve Hetmeyer, my man.
He's coming out of 40k retirement. So.
Out of 40k retirement.
So that's gonna be pretty cool.
That's good. I love Steve. He's a good dude.
Well, cool. Pretty excited though. Pretty excited to do this.
So this will be the first GT ran there at Paper Games.
Mm-hmm.
Nice shop in Bartlesville. If you have not been, you should be. And Jeremiah Allen's the owner, and he's a good dude.
Yep.
And a nice shop. There's even a puppers floating around. So if you need a dog to pet to soothe you as a therapy dog between rounds, he's a nice dog.
And Tova's pretty awesome.
Yeah, he is.
Yep. And so it's gonna be a fun event. Yep.
Well, good. Are you doing anything different, or are you just? This is probably going to be the smallest GT you've ever ran, man. Are you going to be okay with that?
It is. It's actually smaller than my first.
It is. I was at the first one, so.
I know that was 40.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty funny. I think I talked to you about it, Brian. But I'm used to running 50, 60, 80 players. Helping out in large events, and then I feel like I'm super lazy. Running this 28 person event because the trains are already done. I gotta make prizes. I think we're gonna have a big old tchotchke spoon for the first place and last place, so that's gonna be pretty fun. But we're just gonna try something different. I know the store is pretty awesome to us, and so we want to bring them some new business, and I think we can get you guys some discounts on some GW product when we're out there.
Nice.
And I'm just here to help out the store, help out our local community, and hopefully the guys. I really want Oklahoma people to show up more than anything. I love the Kansas folks and everybody around me, but I'm kind of also doing this for the Oklahoma 40k crew as well. So that's kind of my intent.
Yeah, it's kind of a rebuilding community down there. So it's
yeah.
You guys will do good. I'm trying to hit up Zane and a couple of guys and get them to go.
I know. Why hasn't Zane signed up yet?
Well, I don't want to give all Zane's personal business, and there's like nothing bad going on in his life. There's just a lot of good things going on in his life, and I'm not sure he can commit to a whole lot. So, that's his information to give. So,
Well, let's tell him I'm gonna miss him because I would definitely red card him because of those
Yes.
stupid lightning locks that are terrible.
Yeah. No, but Cam signed up. Cam's an Oklahoma guy. Andy Cole, I hadn't seen him in a tournament at Dog's Age. Not sure I know Ryan Snyder. Scuba Steve's Oklahoma.
Yeah. Tyler. I mean,
Tyler's
there's
Oklahoma.
quite a few Oklahoma folks, but hopefully
Where's the notorious Nate Bates? How come he's not supporting you local?
I think you know what? He always signs up at the very end, right? Except for Flying Monkey Con. He signed up for that one. So.
Well, we give that sweet swag early in the event, so.
That's true. That is true.
Well, good.
But yeah, I think since we're almost 2 months out, so over 2 months out. I mean, it'll fill up pretty quick.
Yeah.
So I think it's really interesting with COVID still going around and people are limited to play. I think we're gonna. I honestly think we're gonna fill up probably a month before the event. I would be shocked if we didn't, but you never know.
Yeah, my GT sold out in a day.
Yeah, I know. You know what? No one is as popular as you, Brian. And I've come to realize.
I don't know if I'd use popular. I think it's more like infamous because you guys were around when I broke the internet last week. So it's.
But you use it to your advantage, which is
sometimes.
Yeah, it's true. FYI, we have COVID precautions are on our website, so
yeah,
if you're interested in that.
I am going to start putting COVID protocols in the events, so it's so people do not travel and feel slighted. So.
Are you using the Iron Halo Con COVID protocols? Is that what you're using for Wooden Spoon?
It should reflect. It should say Wooden Spoon on there too. Yeah.
Oh, does it?
So, yeah, at the top, the title,
wow.
Iron Halo Con and War for the Wooden Spoon GT. So Oklahoma, especially Bartlesville, doesn't have any mandatory regulations as far as COVID protocol. So we could actually go inside a building and not wear a mask, or have to be spaced out, or anything.
That's insane.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, locally, as of today, the February 18th, there are literally no COVID precautions here in Bartlesville, Oklahoma.
Man, I might move down.
So, but we added some just because I think it's just be on the safer side. So pretty standard stuff. But.
Well, good. Well, I think the event will go well, and I look forward to it.
That'd be good. I mean, I'm just hoping. I'm looking forward to you attending a small GT and actually behaving yourself this time.
Dude, I have not misbehaved at a GT since 2015. So
I know. But at my small GT, not anyone else.
Yeah, I need to. It's good. No, what I'm liking because I've ran. Between like Monkey and the Wizards GT, I've ran 3 GTs, within the last calendar year, and I'm tired of not playing them. So I was kind of glad to hear you put that on. What is all that background noise, Sean Billy?
I don't know. Are you still hear something? I was scratching my nose.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. That's interesting.
All the whiskers into the microphone. So. All right,
tickler.
guys.
It's a little tickler.
What's that?
This is the tickler.
French the KC tickler.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so what else is so is yours the only in April? Are there other?
Yeah.
Actually, at the end of April is the GT at Hero Complex. I think.
End of May.
Is that May? Actually, Sean's got the page up. Look at him. He's on it.
I know. Look at that. So if you guys are watching out there or listening, go to the Lord Marshal site, click on events, and then you'll be able to pull up all the events that are coming up for the Lord Marshal. Pretty awesome. Upcoming events, excuse me. And we're right now, as of now, it's the only event in April. So
that's it. Coming up in March is a Free State GT, which I think is sold out. Carrie pimped that one out.
Man, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It is. And then that's Josh's event up in Iowa.
Yep.
The 40k March Madness. That's really an original name there, Josh. Good job on that one.
Oh my god, that's true. It is.
And
We missed those guys from Arkansas. We haven't seen them forever.
that's true.
So.
I miss them, but they became wasn't it Desperate Allies last year? It went.
It was. It
Yeah,
was.
they went from March Madness to Desperate Allies. So
It's interesting. I haven't done any events. I haven't talked to Nathaniel in a long time. So he was the guy that kind of took over the reins of March Madness. But I know that him and Heath and a lot of people are out there in Arkansas. So if you guys are listening to Arkansas, you can come up to our GTs, come say hi to us, and be good. What is that?
oh one of my retarded friends Snapchatted me, and I accidentally clicked the thing. So it is what it was. So well, good. So then, where was that? Oh, Shamrocks and Shenanigans, 27th of March. That's at my store. And I think that I put the COVID protocols on there. So if you plan on coming to that, look at the COVID protocols.
If you look at the events at in February, if we can go back there, Sean. I mean, we have like a bunch of events still, all on the 20. One this weekend, and then all on the 27th. So.
Well, good.
So that's gonna be cool.
Yeah. Well, LordMarshal.org. You can track all the events of the Lord Marshal, where to get the points, where to hit the tournaments, and make sure you hit the war for the wooden spoon. It's interesting to hear that. I just think wooden spoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Do you think I should award first place obviously gets all the points, but do you think I should make a big hoopla for the last place wooden spoon guy?
What's the wooden spoon?
I mean, if that's what it's your tournament, buddy. You do whatever you want with it.
That's fair. That's fair. What would you like?
What would I like?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd like a shot at winning a GT, so that's why I'm going.
Okay.
Wouldn't mind walking away with a little bit of prize in my pocket.
Oh no, yeah, we'll definitely do some prize support. We'll probably put maybe half of the, maybe somewhere half of the tournament.
Yeah, I guess while we're on the topic, I guess the way I've been looking at GTs is, prizes. You sprinkle some in the top, sprinkle some in the middle, and then do something for the last. And that way everybody feels like they're in contention for something at the end of the day. Like,
did you do door prizes at your event?
I did do door prizes at my event, and I gave away quite a bit of good stuff.
Yeah.
And even though it was a smaller event, I basically did was took the prize support and put it back in, or not the prize support. Took the gate and put it back into basically giving prizes out to people.
Yeah.
And then
that's probably.
Yeah, and then paid off a couple of small things. So, but it went well.
On top of the prize support, it's always been weird to me that you give the best painted more paint stuff. I was saying, well, don't they already have this? Their best painter? They probably have a lot of paints.
Well, it's because, have you seen some of these fucking armies? You want to give to someone that's actually going to use it.
Yeah, that's fair. But I just think at the same time, it's like, well, they're probably just going to keep this on a shelf for a minute because they don't need it yet.
I mean, let me ask you this. Would you guys give, like, a certificate to a professionally painted painter?
Oh, that'd be awesome. I'd love to get that.
Hang on, let's check the wording on that.
Yes.
Do what now?
Yeah.
Would you... Wait, do I need to say anything? Are we recording?
Yeah, we're recording.
Okay. I was like, what?
Restate what you just said.
No, okay. So what if we gave the best painted player like a certificate for $200 for a commissioned unit of some kind? I don't know. That'd be kind of counterintuitive, right? Or would it?
I'm not sure I'm a fan of that. Like, maybe it could be a prize you win,
Yeah.
For something. Like, first, second, or third place prize type of deal.
Sure.
Or it could be a raffle or something like that. I mean, I would love to win something like that because I'm not a great painter. I think I'm okay. I can do passable if I put some time into it, but if I don't have to paint, I'm happy, basically.
You know what? I think there's yeah, I would agree with that. I'm not a very good painter. Nope.
I agree
Definitely
with that.
passable, but yeah.
I think that looks like Dan Salmon's forehead.
That's Dan.
Wait, is Dan on here?
Dan is on.
He is now.
Oh
I
man,
think Dunkalicious just popped in.
that's cool. Does that mean you're kicking me off?
Well, I mean, we can.
Ah!
Wow. Who was that?
Look,
Was that Duncan?
one,
Oh my
the
gosh, I haven't talked to Duncan in forever. He lives.
Neither have we.
You just talked to me last week.
Oh, I was talking 40k talking.
Well, last time you guys probably talked was bottom table at some GT, right?
Oh, shit.
Man, you keep talking that shit, but I specifically remember you and I playing on the stream table. I don't know, whatever round that was at Halo. But it's okay.
Yeah, what happened during it? I forgot.
Hey, I was there, and I fought honorably, win or lose.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know, I'm
You lost. You lost, for people who was wondering.
Jason, you're welcome to stay on. What do you want to do?
I think. Wait, you have like what? 12 people on here.
Well, we're actually going to talk competitive 40k, so you and Duncan might be worthless, but
It's probably true. I have. I do want to say that we're having Duncan. I expect to see you at the War for the Wooden Spoon end of April. That is
That's
actually,
tax season.
that's after
No.
tax season.
It's after tax season, but I'll have a 2-week-old child, so probably not.
Hey, let me tell you what. I went to Feast of Blades with a 3-month-old at home, and I'm still married.
The 2 weeks.
I am still married, so you know what? Do it in the work. And I'm married 10 years now, and what you should do is just do it and ask for forgiveness later.
Listen, at that age, they sleep all the time anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
So just put them in the fucking baby carrier and leave them under the table while you're playing the game.
They sleep and eat. Guess what? You can't beat them.
Dan, you seem
Man,
skeptical. Are you alright?
You think I
I'm
lose enough
tired.
games now? Could you imagine me trying to fucking feed a baby and do all the other Warhammer shit?
You're
No,
doing all the
every-
other Warhammer shit.
Feed
though.
the kid is not bad. You just give him the bottle, and you put your blanket underneath the bottle, so it props it up. It's when you have to change that dirty diaper on the table.
Hell yeah.
Alright, we're done. We're done with diaper talk. So
All right. Well, hey, I'll jump out of here. You guys have fun. Dan, always good seeing you.
alright,
go,
later,
man.
Jason. Thanks for coming on.
See you, Jason.
Yeah, my Skype was like frozen. I had to like disconnect it and reconnect it to get the thing to show up.
Nice. I invited Ben. I'm not sure if Ben's available or if he's gonna be. It shows him yellow. So, what's happening, fellas?
Chilling.
Chilling?
Hanging out.
Are you over there?
Whole,
Dan's over there operating in the jank tank,
Diving deep.
deep dive into the jank tank.
got horses printed and heads glued on.
I'm in the process of gluing the heads on.
Just say the Knights of Sleepy Hollow or some shit.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. So
What were you doing messing with frozen pipes, Dan?
Oh, it's for work.
Yeah. Dude, I had the week of weeks as far as like everything going wrong that could go wrong.
Yes, you did.
Ugh.
Got banned from Facebook.
I got banned from Facebook. So it started like Friday. So I've been it's been a day for like a week now. But so you guys, I don't know if any of you guys been at my house, but it's an older house and like there's old pipes and we have one space heater and like stuff was starting to freeze up. And so I hit up Facebook and asked if anybody had space heaters, and so Baby Gap was like, yeah, I got two, because they had heat issues for a while, so I think they had space heaters at their house because of the heat with being out, and so he told me to come over and get them. So I go over to his house, and the roads are caked and it's nasty out and it's frozen, and I'm in a 4-wheel drive Jeep, so I'm like, I'm cool, and get over to his place. I get up there, I load up the space heaters, and I go down to the bottom of his drive, and like it slopes down into the street. Well, it was all snow filled, and so my tires were spinning, and I thought, okay, I'm just gonna stop and put it in 4-wheel drive. So I stopped and I put it in 4-wheel drive, and then I put it in reverse, and it just goes, and like no wheels are moving, no transmissions engaging, no anything, and I'm like, motherfucker. So like I I take it out of 4-wheel drive high, put it like 4-wheel drive low, and like 2-wheel drive back and forth, and it's not doing anything. And so I'm like, son of a bitch. And like I'm in his driveway, like blocking his driveway, and he's like, we're not going anywhere anyway. So I called like Geico roadside assistance, and this is like 12 in the afternoon, and they're like, yeah, we'll be by about 2:50. And then like at like 4 o'clock they hadn't showed up yet, so I called them, and they're like, yeah, we'll probably be by about like 5 o'clock. And I'm like, huh. And then like 4:50 or the 5 o'clock comes and passes. And they're like, yeah, we're just going to get there whenever we can get there. And I'm like, you realize, like, my car is blocking somebody's driveway. And then finally, like, it was either 7 or 8, I can't remember. But they finally got my fucking car and get it to the dealership. And then the dealership's like, yeah, it's an easy fix. And I'm like, great. And they're like, yeah, but the part's going to take 4 days to get here because of the weather. And I'm like, awesome. So
what was wrong with it?
A linkage piece broke on the transmission. So like the transmission itself's good, you know, and so luckily it was a few $100 and not a whole transmission or transaxle or something. So
that's good.
Yeah,
my Jeep is in good working order. So, and then, dude, but like it's all week. Like, dude, it started with the podcast not recording last Thursday, and then just like here we are the next week, and like anything that can go wrong has went wrong. Or
did it start when you had to eat somebody out of your store?
No, that's fine. I'll eat somebody out of the store any day of the week.
Or did it start when someone wrote an article about your store?
Well, that would have been Friday.
Started.
Lord Almighty, I'm not going to address that because I got words. So it's hopefully done and over with. And I am now putting, when I list an event in BCP, I'm putting at least something about COVID protocols on there. So we did the same thing for Monkey, I think, when the tickets went up this week. Right, Duncan?
Yeah, you must have done it because I didn't do that.
Okay. So, yeah. But yeah, it's so people don't drive when they don't understand the local guidelines and what rules are going to be being
There's
used.
an easier way to fix that.
What's that?
Just don't allow Goonhammer. So.
Yeah, I saw you liked my comment the other day about what do you call a group
comments.
of Karens?
Oh, yep.
A Goonhammer.
That's too funny.
Man, frustrating. So, well, guys, since we did not, since last week's episode did not record, do you guys want to try it again? Talk about like what makes a good list, what we look at in doing our list, and secondary things like that. So, I'll start with let's start with Dan, last year's ITC champion apparently. So he knows a little something about list building, or at least being the luckiest motherfucker in the Midwest. But anyways, so what would you say is like the first principle for a good list building? What should someone like sitting down and trying to master some basics? Where should they start?
With ninth, I think the first thing to think about when you're building a list is secondaries.
Okay.
Just, good example is you want to be able to have a plan if your opponent doesn't give up anything. So you want to make sure that you have the ability to pick, and this does not work for all factions. So let's start with that. But you want to try to have a plan for being able to pick 3 secondaries regardless of what your opponent brings. And then you also want to think about, not necessarily taking certain things to not give up too many secondaries. That's kind of what I think with ninth, where I would start. So, and just going down like a good example. So when if I'm building a Space Marine list, it used to be for me, it used to be incursors. It didn't matter what the Space Marine list was, it's going to have a unit of incursors in there because they can be very toolboxy. They give you the infiltrate deployment, which is good on certain scenarios. It's good for denying other people's pre-game movements. It's a really strong unit. But it also, especially with how that one stratagem works, to pick up a Phobos unit and then put it back down, it opens up deploy scramblers, and it opens it up that your opponent has to block their backfield for all 5 turns, or you're going to score it. So that's like one. That's like a quick example of just something that you need to think about during list design, to make sure you build your list in a way to be able to score secondaries. And kind of on that point, I don't actually like incursors anymore unless you're taking a patrol or something. I actually think eliminators are a better option because they do the same thing for cheaper. So, and they have the added utility of being a sniper, and so randomly causing your opponent to play differently. So
I think I see a resurgence of snipers with some of the Death Guard and Dark Angels characters popping about. So
yeah, not Dark Angels because they got the command squads, but that Death Guard, that little tally man, he doesn't like a couple snipers popping off at him, giving him.
They don't have very many wounds either.
What'd you say, Duncan?
They don't have very many wounds.
No, they're only 4 wounds. So yeah, I think that's a good example. That there's just something you got to build. Just think about secondaries long before you get to the table.
Yeah. All right. So let's say if you start like what am I going to build this list to do secondary wise on the table? What do you think about? I'll throw this over to Sean. What do you think about list balance? What should you be thinking about balancing in a list when you're writing it or building it?
Oh,
Durr.
What's the question? I know, right? Was me? Go to Duncan.
So Duncan, when you're logging on to
balance-wise?
Tabletop Simulator,
Man, I literally went to an event. Well, I guess it wasn't last month. The month before that, I was at an event.
okay.
All right, can I get the question again?
Oh, Jesus Christ! How do you
This
feel
isn't
about list
Jeopardy.
balance? What do you look at for a balanced list whenever you bring one, or do you even bring a balanced list? Is it necessarily not? And anybody can chime in after Sean answers. So
For me personally, I don't think I typically build towards the balanced list idea. Most of my lists generally will skew one direction. And currently, my current list is probably on the more survival aspect. And then it has, I wouldn't say glass cannon because it's Death Guard, but it does have a lot of punching power, but it's very slow. So it's not so much a balanced list where it can get all over the board. It can score, objectives all over the place and stuff like that either. I can't even do a lot of objectives because I only have boxwalkers and they don't do that for me. So me personally, I don't build balanced lists, but I try to build efficient lists. Is what I try to do. So I try to have units that are efficient with what they do.
fair.
So example is a Death Shroud, 3-man Death Shroud. That's 150 points. They can reliably kill, 20 plus orc boys if they get the charge off first. And that's sufficient to me. So and they're just not dying immediately. They're just very efficient what they do. They move forward, they take up space, and they don't die.
And I think that's kind of the whole idea of building a list like that is it's not a skew, but you're just taking so much efficient shit that you're saying I'm just going to try to murder you and then score points, which is 100% a viable way to play.
Always try to trade up with your stuff. I don't mind suiciding a 150 point squad if I'm killing a 300 point squad, 400 point squad, or tying up that squad even. Like I don't even have to necessarily trade out point for point. I'm fine with trading below that if I am stopping them from doing something.
Okay.
So one of my games I was throwing Death Shrouds in the Mortarian to keep him in a certain point of a table so he couldn't move from that spot.
Yeah, makes sense.
Anything to add to that?
When it comes to a balanced list, I know Brian's said it about 1 million times, but redundancy, super important. Because, like Sean was just saying, how many times have you had a unit just get locked down that's a really pivotal unit, and they're the workhorse and they can't do anything because they're locked down in combat or whatever else. So if you have another unit that does the same thing, it adds a lot more to your list.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing I see in a lot of lists is like one of the mistakes I see new players make is they kind of they build their armies like we did. You know, you kind of do the smorgasbord thing. Like you go in one week and you pick up this super cool unit for your army. You go back the next week, you pick the next super cool unit for your army. And then you finally get 2,000 points and you play, and you turn around and like none of the shit synergizes. I can't talk tonight. And then none of the shit works together in the way it is. And then like there's zero redundancy because like they're running like a battalion with like a predator and a unit of suppressors and a Redemptor Dreadnought
or Devastators with the missile launcher, heavy bolter, last cannon,
and
whatever else.
So I think you have to resist the temptation to take all your cool shit and kind of dial it down and have like duplicates of stuff that does something well. And I use the example of like Dan's burner bombers. You know, like if you line up against some orcs and you see one burner bomber, what are you gonna do if you go turn one? Like you're gonna smoke that thing off the damn board. And if you go, you know, and he's still gonna have one on his turn, because the odds of you killing two of those are pretty low. Have you had both of those die in a game yet?
No, there's before I got to use them.
Second.
So. Yeah, I just go first. Helps.
Never mind.
Yeah. But there's not many armies that are going to shoot two of them off.
Yeah,
so
and
most people can get one, and sometimes they don't even get one. So.
And so that's my point. Is like if you have like not just bringing like one Redemptor Dreadnought doesn't do a whole lot for you. Bring two, and also on the other side of that, which like we talked about it in our local chat today, is making sure you don't go too far on that other end of it. Like I think 3 Redemptor Dreadnoughts are too much. It's like if you're taking 3 Redemptor Dreadnoughts, I feel like you're shorting your list and some bodies to hide on stuff or sit on objectives or like talking about scramblers or banners, whatever. They're not really good for a lot of secondaries. They're good at killing, they're good at close combat, they're survivable, but to like just triple down with them, I think is a little bit too much redundancy in the list. And I think most any good unit like Blade Guard, Eradicators, whatever, as far as Space Marines are concerned, have a sweet spot of that's where the redundancy of it needs to be. And I know there's a lot of examples in other armies out there, but that's what I say when I'm talking about redundancy. Is like you need to have more than one, but you don't need to go whole hog where you're just I don't know. And there's times that those rules can be broken, like that dumbass fucking Chaos Spawn list that Sean was running. Like at Iron Halo, but
it's as cheap as good to do what I need to do. So.
And every now and then, I'm not saying don't break that rule, but I'm just saying in general, because if something's that broken, more than likely it's going to change or get fixed at some point. So that's what we'll say about that. So what?
I think play it while it's good. Play it while it's good. You expect it to change, but just play it while it's strong, kind of thing.
Right until the wheels fall off.
My only comment on balanced lists, because I try to build balanced lists just from I want to be able to have some range damage and some melee damage and board control. I try to build a balanced list, and I think it just generally I like that from the aspect of you might not have you might not have a super hard counter to anybody, but you have answers for everything. So and I one time we went that. Did you? We trying to think. You were at that one in Topeka was that a month ago, Sean? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So because you played Bill's Necrons, and I played him on round 2, and going to that tournament, I was trying out a Sisters and Custodes list, and I knew I was lacking enough guns to do something, and I played against his Custodes his Necrons with Silent King. I did not kill Silent King, and having Silent King get to play with you for 5 turns is not a fun experience, So, and just because I really lacked the firepower to deal with something like that. So, but that's usually I like to build a balanced list from that aspect of I like to have a deep strike threat. I like to have some long range guns, some short range guns, some melee hitters. Some sort of trick at some level. But that's kind of a personal preference, I think.
Yeah. I think it's good to have the ability to do it all, but where I differ from Dan is like there's these different phases of the game: movement, psychic, shooting, etc., etc. my list typically will focus on 2 or 3 of those and winning those, and I will just give up on one. Like I say, all right, well, I'm not shooting too much. I have my plague risk crawlers, which are my quality shooting, but past that, I was like, I don't really have shooting on my list.
Mhm.
But I am confident I can generally win the psychic phase, and I can generally win the fight phase, and I'm very survivable, so I'll stick around for a while.
Yep.
And one thing that I think kind of Dan hinted on, but he didn't necessarily name it, was, and this is something that like Matt Root talked to me about. Like, what is your play style? Like, what's your play style when you're playing 40k? Because if you're trying to shoehorn yourself into something that doesn't fit your play style, like, you're not going to have fun with it. You're not going to be able to, long term stick with it because you like it or you don't like it. Like, would you have elements of stuff in there that you'd like to play with? Like, every list that I play with, I know that I need some kind of close combat component. Like, I cannot build a list where I don't have some sort of close combat threat or close combat component. That it doesn't have to be like the best close combat unit in the game, but like, for now, for sisters, like Rapincha or Hot, So like Rapincha filled that role for me for having like that close combat component, which I guess the Penitent engines, Nomorifiers do the same thing too. But like, I like having strong close combat units in a list, and I don't think I can play a strictly close combat unit list and have fun playing the game. But I know that when I'm building a list, I need to have something that just scratches that itch enough to the point to where, I'm going to have fun playing 40k. And so, like, what's your play style? When do you like to shoot? Do you like to, is it tricky play? Some people like to find gimmicks, like Cookie, is the king of jank, and likes to find stuff that catches people off guard or catches them on the back foot. And, like, that's cool if that's what you want to do. But just, like, have that in mind when you're building a list. Is this list going to be, it should be fun. You should have fun playing something that fits your play style.
Yeah.
You guys got anything else to add?
Just kind of on that and a little offshoot, but like, if you find something that you like, even if it's not the best thing, there's probably ways to make it work. If you have, and this is just a totally situational sort of example, because I've been messing around with Death Corporate Creek horses, so trying to see how good those are. And they have, for anyone who doesn't know, the horses, they're pretty annoying to kill. They don't do that much. They're just annoying, a lot of wounds. But they have an elite unit. They're engineers, just guardsmen, but they're BS3 guardsmen that have gas grenades. So you look at the gas grenade stats. They're a D6 grenade. So hit on 3s, and then they are basically a poison weapon that auto wounds on a 2-up with a -2 AP and 1 damage.
Isn't there a strat though where your entire unit can eat a grenade?
Yeah, so you can throw 10 grenades. So the first time I looked at that, I was like, oh, that's really good, but how, like, you're never gonna make it work. Like, they move 6 inches and they throw 6 inches. And I think that's a good example of most people look at that, say, no, there's no way to buff that, it's trash. Well, and then it's one of those things, and I was kind of like, there has to be a way to make these work. For a hot second, I thought Valkyries worked with them, but they don't really. But then we thought about it some more. I was like, and actually, you throw them in a Chimera, and then the way the game progresses, you can make them work. Because depending on what, assuming your army, if you got a couple of those guys in a Chimera, at turn 1 you move them up and you pop smoke or anything like that to it's just a Chimera with some guardsmen in it. It is very low on the 2-kill priority for my opponents. I have a lot of other things to deal with, but after turn 1 and moving up, that Chimera is now sitting next to an objective, not on the objective, just next to it. So if your opponent decides to make a move, then you get to get out of the Chimera and roll up and gas grenade somebody, And so it's one of those, like, on paper, it might not work. In the game, you might have to do something a little different, but you can make something work if you, in a lot of cases, not necessarily anything. So
Like another example of that is the old possessed lists, or I guess people are still playing possessed lists. It's like possessed on paper they're okay. They're maybe a little pricey for what they do, and then you add in, the massive possession, you add in, whatever, the Dark Apostle, whatever. I don't know all the stuff that does it, and then you add Alpha Legion, and there's all these stacking things to it, and it's all of a sudden it's like this unit is a scary unit all of a sudden.
How'd that work out for you, Duncan?
Well, it doesn't matter anymore because I can't take. I can't even take the Warlord trait on the spicy stratagems because of vigilance.
Well, you say that, but wasn't there a list that was played with a bunch of possessed that did pretty well, like last month, 2 months ago?
someone in Australia did 60
Yeah.
assist.
60?
Yeah. I think it was 60 possessed with master possession for the defensive buffs, and then a Slanesh detachment, so they could all advance and charge. I think, and it was.
I think there's some Terminators in it too, right? Wasn't the
That was a different list, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, there's two chaos lists that were both doing well in that event.
Huh.
So, but I mean, there's just if you want a special snowflake with the unit, there is probably a way to make it work at some level. Will it always be the most efficient thing? Not necessarily, but you can get it to the point to justify using it if that's what you need to do. So.
Well,
yeah.
good.
And then like with lists too, you can also identify like certain like chapter tactics, certain stratagems too that will benefit your list and benefit your playstyle too. So you want to look for those as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially like Space Marines. You don't just because your Space Marines are painted blue or red or whatever, you have access to how many books they have? Like 10 different Space Marine books. So if there's one of those books that fits your playstyle better, 99% of the people out there aren't going to care if your Ultramarines are being used as Salamanders. So or Dark Angels, better example.
Fair. All right, you want to do some list reviews? We still have our list from last week. We tried to review that fell apart on us.
Sure.
I think how did we pull those up? Who pulled them up last week?
I did.
Dan.
You still have access to them?
I'm looking right now.
Because I had people
Probably.
ask me, "Did you review my list?" I'm like, "Well, let me tell you." It was the start of retrograde.
So yeah, well, did you watch the YouTube video that I posted? I mean, follow my content, you'll know.
All right, I got them.
All right. So what's the first list we got?
So first one is a Salamander detachment. So this looks like a Vanguard detachment, Captain and Phobos armor, Chapter Master, Rights of War, Primaris Tech Marine, and then for troops, an Infiltrator squad, Elites, a Aggressor squad, 5-man, a 5-man Blade Guard, 5-man Blade Guard, a Chief Apothecary, and then 2 Redemptor Dreadnoughts, 3 Multi-Melta attack bike squads, a Storm Speeder Hammer Strike, and then a fat unit of, looks like, Eradicators with heavy Melta rifles.
Well, right off the bat, I don't think that Storm Speeder.
I would cut the Storm Speeder from the list.
Yeah, they're cool models, but I don't think they're very good.
So
Yes, that's like the Storm Speeders are a great example of something that is going to generally work better if it's used as Dark Angels to give it an invul. So if that's something you want to make work. But I think what we talked about in this one is, you're just so close to the point of, you're paying a Vanguard, so you're paying 3 CP right off the top, and then he's buying extra relics, extra Warlord traits, and everything. So you're starting the game with 5 command points, I think.
Ugh,
Which
it's not enough for Space Marines.
no, especially Salamanders, and especially Salamanders that have flamers in them.
Well,
like
that Aggressor squad needs some CP to fuel it, right?
Yeah, there's just there is no reason to, unless you're playing Dark Angels like a Deathwing thing or a Ravenwing thing, there's no reason not to losing that much CP. So I think switch it to a battalion or maybe even go to 2 patrols or something like that. But that's my first reaction is
battalion's probably the best because you got just as many elite slots as you would in a Vanguard, so you're not missing out on anything.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think, and
unless the Hammer Strike is some secret tech that I don't know what it does, it's like that's like the immediate first drop I see on the list.
Yeah, I don't. The Eradicators, it's Salamanders. The Eradicators make sense. They're good. The attack bikes. Only thing I
How
don't
many
like.
attack bikes are there?
It's a 3-man squad.
3.
Oh, a 3-man squad. Okay. All
And
right.
that's an example of what I don't like to see, like having 3 attack bikes all with multi-meltas. That puts a much bigger target on that unit.
Mhm.
It's useful for the apothecary to res back, but I usually would like to see, more smaller units. And that's kind of maybe a personal preference.
I like that too. Typically, I'm under the idea of I'd rather have 3 single-man units than 1 3-man unit because people start to split fire things, and also once you start split firing things are living in the end with a wound, and they're feeling real bad after that. And then when it comes to 3 attack bikes, I can just shoot one. Okay, well I got my Riptide. I'll shoot just my Riptide at them, and he's dead now.
Going back to playing to secondaries, engaging all fronts is a lot easier to do with 3 attack bikes rather than 1 3-man attack bike unit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's kind of, he's got on his, looks like his prime as apothecary is his warlord. He's got the never give up trait, the Vox Spiritum, and
What's the never give up trait?
That's what I'm not entirely sure which one that is. And he's got
I thought you give him selfless healer. Okay, I was like selfless healer.
So he's got selfless healer. I'm not sure what never give up is. But the Vox Spiritum on an apothecary to increase the range from 3 to 6, I don't really like that. You're not going to be able to spread out that much more. I don't think it's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Not for a 6-up.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's a 5-up maybe, but yeah, 6-up not at all.
And then he's got the that you maybe could drop that relic or tweak that around, and then the Captain and Phobos armor with Rights of War, that makes sense. Chapter Master makes sense. You want to help the Eradicators out. But then I kind of go to, it's kind of a weird. So if you're taking the Chapter Master in this list, it's really for the Eradicator squad. Does that mean your Eradicators are going to be walking up the board? So if they're walking up the board, you're not really doing anything to protect them. So I'm not a big fan of that.
And Eradicators are typically a unit that you kill right away, or you want to kill right away.
Yeah, they're gonna be drawing a huge amount of fire, and if you want them to survive, I'm not sure that the Chapter Master upgrade is super necessary on them. I guess that's probably my one comment on that. That's like a good example where I think so. You have the Eradicator squad that moves, hits on 4s because they're all heavy. So I guess and you have ways to fix that for Salamanders, 1 CP to count as stationary. So that helps. So then if you're investing that much, you really want to hit. So you got the Chapter Master 2. Totally makes sense. But if you have to deep strike them or anything like that, then they are not getting a Chapter Master buff. So I don't. Otherwise, you're walking them up the field, unless you're planning to do that stratagem. What's it called? There's the one that they can bodyguard for a unit. So I think his Blade Guard could do it to him. I don't know the exact wording on that, so I'd have to reread that. Maybe that's his plan.
Well, that's a lot of tricks on a lot of CP that you need. Starting with 5 CP, like all of a sudden I'm going to do a turn and I'm out of CP after that.
Yeah, so that's probably my big comment with this is I feel like you're close to being able to you basically can drop the what do you call it, the Hammer Strike.
The Hammer Strike.
hammer strike, and you're almost at the point of adding 2 cheap tack squads or something. Something to get it to a battalion.
It's like change the hammer strike and infiltrators for 3 tac marines, and then another HQ, right? He only has 1 HQ, or does he have 2?
Oh, he has 2, but maybe you
Okay.
leave. You can leave the infiltrator. Either you could do some tweaking. There's different ways to tweak it. So definitely, but I would definitely. That's probably my number 1 comment is you need more CP. So, but I think that's that list.
Yeah. Charles
Next
will work
one.
on, I'm sure. What do we had next? We had
Black Templars.
Black Templars. Yes.
So we have High Marshal Helbricht. He's
Classic.
and then Primaris Chaplain on bike. Master Sanctity Frontline Commander. And then a Tech Marine with the Aurelian Shroud. I think that's the 4++ ability.
Okay.
I'll have to check.
I think it is.
3 inch Assault Intercessors. 2 Blade Guard Vet Squads, 5 mans. 2 Redemptors. A Vanguard Vet Squad with... Oh boy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got 10 of them. And it looks like it's 50-50 shields and thunderhammers. And then he has a Eradicator squad, a big Eradicator squad.
Is it 6-man?
It is a 6-man.
You can combat squad that, so that's probably what's going on there.
Yeah, the points, something seems a little off on us. Some of the points doesn't quite seem right on that.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like enough stuff. I feel like there should be 1 more unit or something.
Oh no, I mean it's a 300 point. I think the points are right. I'm just talking specifically about the Eradicators. But I mean the Eradicators and the Vanguards is 600 points. Yeah, the Redemptors, that's 1,000.
Okay.
So another almost 400 from the Blade Guards, and then you check on 3 characters.
300 from Assault, 300 from Assault and Necessities. Yep.
So I think the number 1, and I remember this vaguely from Ben last week. Probably the number 1 thing is, if you want to do the trick with Blade Guards in an Impulsor, you need an Impulsor, and it's definitely a good trick to think about with Black Templars. The other thing too is what you got 1 Tech Marine and for 2 Dreadnoughts. I don't know if you're running enough to justify that. And then the Vanguard Vets, that is an expensive unit of Vanguard Vets. That for 325 points. With
why would you bring Assault Intercessors over Crusades guys too? I mean, I know it's like an extra attack, right?
Is it? Probably, maybe.
Our resident expert is not here.
Yeah.
Our Black Templars.
Does he have an Apothecary on the list? Did I miss that?
Yeah, he doesn't have the Apothecary.
Well, that's like a must take for Space Marines, I think.
Yeah, unless you're playing Space Wolves, you definitely want an Apothecary in there. Yeah. OP thing. And then
they got healing bombs.
Right in the feels, guys. Right in the fucking feels.
Yep. And the Assault Intercessors, I don't know if you don't have Crusaders, that's fine. If you have the old Marines and Crusaders, they're 20 points a unit cheaper. And that almost pays for your Apothecary. And then Salamanders I could justify Eradicators in.
Sword Brothers 2 base attacks.
Are they?
Yeah, I looked it up just now.
Well, I don't remember which one it is, but yeah, they're pretty similar. I know a lot of people are super hype on them because they're 4 points.
80 points or something like that, or
15 points.
Yep.
2 attacks.
Yeah, they're really similar to Assault Intercessors. So
yeah.
But 4 points cheaper. What I was saying about the Eradicators, though, I mean, you have the Redemptors, so you've got some range firepower. The Eradicators, they're just... Salamanders can really crank them up to 11. Dark Angels can get good work out of them. To really maximize Eradicators, there's far fewer Space Marine armies that can... I guess the only trick that... you really have is to devout push them to get them a little extra inches. I don't know if that's worth it, I guess. Because 300 points of Eradicators, that gets you some Melta attack bikes, which is more units. Because that's like, again, you kind of go back to looking at secondaries. What is this list like? Are you don't like engage is not really an option for this list. It's assault intercessors, blade guard vets, 2 redemptors. Like, it's not going to be reaching out and scoring engage. So I think
as survival as storm shields make you feel, those Vanguard vets will drop really quick all of a sudden. That's 2 wounds each. I mean, sure it's a 204 up, but also I'm shooting, AP1 strength 4 guns. That's gonna chew through those guys at a pretty decent rate.
Well, and you're paying 325 for half storm shields and half lightning claws. If you were to invest a little bit more, you'd have a Terminator unit that's obviously a little slower, but a 1-up with 4-ups. It's virtually the same output, but 10 more wounds on the unit and better saves. So,
well, cool.
and it's kind of weird too. I think the Relic Terminator squads, I think there's something there because you can take claws and storm bolters. So a Relic Terminator squad in Black Templars, they're 2 attacks base, 3 on the charge, 4 with a claw, and then the +1. You could have 50 attacks in that unit, and it's not doing multi-damage. But in this meta of more and more -1 damage, being 1 damage with reroll wounds is pretty damn good versus being, I think there's something there. But anyway,
Someone's mic's picking up a lot of background. Is that you again, Sean?
I hope not. Is it me?
Yeah.
If you just muted, it's you.
Yeah.
So, we're sorry, listeners at home. You can blame Sean for that shit.
But yeah, that's my one comment about this list. Is I think it can score Oath, it could score Raise, but like trying to go for an Engage or something like that, it doesn't really have anything. That's not an option for that type of list, not realistically.
I restarted my PC and I put my settings back to the original ones.
It does it every time. It's super annoying.
So the next list is a quick one. Is Tau.
Okay.
And none of us know anything about Tau. I think the only thing we said about this one, I feel like
Are there a lot of broadsides and missiles? That's all we need to know.
he has a whole lot of crude.
Man.
And then he has stealth suits and crisis bodyguards with plasma, and then some piranhas.
Don't bring plasma.
And the bombers. I think my only comment about is I don't know anything about Tau, but I feel like you're trying something new that nobody's trying. It might work because you got enough OBSEC bodies, but you got I just don't know enough about Tau.
We go back. We're talking about efficient units all of a sudden. It's like, so you're looking like efficient units for Tau right now are probably broadsides, and then they're probably crisis suits with either the cyclic ion blasters or flamers on them. I think those are probably and cold star commanders and the commanders in general. But those are probably like
a 5-man bodyguard. It looks like with plasma or 6.
I don't think plasma worth it. I just don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, and again,
I'd rather have a bunch of cyclic ion blasters or the flamers in that instance.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Tau.
The fuck's a Tau?
Yeah.
They struggle with primaries, but they
do
secondaries okay.
I really think...
And that's where he's got the crude. So, I mean, taking 50 crude, I think is I don't remember what their defense stats
I think they have I think it's just a 5-up save, but I think they get a scout move and stuff like that too, so they can be up the board a little bit quicker. But
I assume they're OBSEC, so if they're OBSEC...
they're not. They're elites.
No, are Crute really elites?
Let me just double check.
This says troops.
No.
Duncan, shut up.
Those are Crute sharpers that are elites.
Shapers?
Yeah.
You're gonna goddamn it, you're gonna make me pull up goddamn Tau. You're gonna ruin the cleanliness of my...
It makes me feel dirty.
My app. I'm gonna have to restart my phone.
All of a sudden, Dan's talking about Tau jank.
Dude, I literally talk about Tau, and my app doesn't want to load. See, it just damn it, there it goes.
So Kroot carnivores.
Kroot carnivores, yeah.
Yeah, they're troops.
Do they have any? Let's go into this.
I think they just have a 5-up armor save, and I think they have a scout.
They have a 6-up armor save.
There's six points of model though.
That's
6
pretty
points.
cheap.
Do they still have a bonus in like woods and terrains and stuff like that, or no?
Start the first battle round before the unit. The first turn, it can move 7 inches. So it gets a pre-game move, which is not bad.
And 7 inches is decent.
That's what she said.
Hey.
They're also
Yeah.
7-inch move.
Yeah, I
She's
don't.
never said that to me.
I mean,
For 60 points for a unit of them, that's not bad.
Yeah.
and he's got Trutox Riders.
Let's go with those.
Strength 6, T5, 4 wounds with a 6-up save. Oh,
28 points of model.
For 4 wounds?
Strength 7 gun. 48-inch range. -1 AP. D3 damage. Meh.
Pretty
They
fucking
really-
meh.
I mean, they're cheap as hell.
Yeah.
They're pretty cheap, but
It's that like spawn efficiency where they have a decent amount of wounds for their points, but
yeah, but their save is just ass.
Yeah.
A 6-up save. Those 4 wounds aren't going to last very long at T5.
Hey, their Crutox Fist do 2 damage.
The one isn't the Tau Kroot guy from that box set
Blackstone Fortress. or
Blackstone
whatever.
Fortress. I don't remember his name, but if you're taking all that Kroot, I don't know. You might want to look into taking him. He used to have a good ability for dropping some mortal wounds. I don't know if he still has that or not. I don't even know what the hell his name was. I don't even see him in here.
We've talked too much about Tal. Let's go on to the next
Yeah.
one.
Last one is Grey Knights. So he's got the Vindicare Assassin, Brother Captain, Drago, 1, 2, 3 strike squads, the Apothecary, 1, 2, 3 Purifier squads with Warding Staff heavy, Servitor squad, Intercept squad, and then looks like 1, 2, 3 Purgation squads with side cannons. I don't think I remember what this one is. I don't like the Vindicare. It's just I think you should start as another assassin, and then if you decide to change the Vindicare, that's fine. But I feel like you get a lot more mileage out of the Cluxus or the Calidus or even the Eversor. So
Yeah.
a lot more reliable mileage.
Well, and I think, like you said, if you can, that strat's only like, 1 CP to switch out the assassin?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not crazy expenditure if you feel you get into the game where, like, you want that Vindicare versus having the Colexus, or whatever. But
If you get an open terrain board, and if you got the board for a Vindicare, it's fine. But if you don't have the board for it, it's kind of bleh. That's probably only real comment about that. Otherwise, I think it's just mass bodies, which is I think how you got.
Oh, it's silence. There's some side cannons on everything.
He has side cannons on his heavy squads, and then a bunch of storm bolters and silencers on the purifiers.
Okay.
So
I do think Grey Knights, it's just a flood of bodies is where it's at right now. So
yep. And
Yeah.
Grey Knights,
I think
Grey
Paladins
Knights
are
have-
good, but they're just too expensive compared to what regular Terminators do.
yeah. And one thing I like about Grey Knights is it's the worst. I mean, it sucks they give up 4, but that's like orcs playing. They give up, bring it down. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But Grey Knights, they have that stratagem to deep strike within an inch. I think anyone can do that. So that is baller as hell. Like it's a guaranteed to score. Deploy and that type of thing. Like they've got their secondary game is pretty good.
Well, and then they have like you can shoot in the psychic phase and then move type shenanigans. Inner firebomb's good. Get a cheap ass apothecary deep striking close to something, and
It's not just an entire wide like deep strike army, like anybody can deep strike, or is it just about almost anybody can deep
strike squads deep strike on their data sheet. Other stuff, you can do it with
Teleportarium.
CP. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they also have a unit that can, take a move across the board for free. And then the thing is, there's a psychic power of Astral Aim. So, or not Astral Aim, god damn it. What's it
Gate of
called?
Infinity.
That's a good power
Gate
skill.
Gate of Infinity. You can just gate stuff around the board where you want it, And but then, like I said, there's the I think it's dynamic insertion or something where they can go close to whatever and score something. Like that dude can't charge, but if you get him to where you want that inner firebomb and catch some characters, it doesn't suck. So, and I think there's repetitive Vortex of Doom in that list too, isn't there?
I didn't even look. He just psychopaths everywhere.
You get to a certain point, and you kind of are forced that way, though.
Yeah. So, but Vortex is good. I don't know. Grey Knights are like just a hair outside of being where they need to be. I think they need to. They're
need
really
some
good
wounds.
for a minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's kind of weird. They might be coming back if Dark Angels get more popular. I think Grey Knights get a little bit better because, a 400-point block of Terminators doesn't like getting smited. So even if it's only for 2 damage at a time, it still will add up. So
well, when you got 3 of them that can probably do it on averages, smiting you for 2 at a time, it starts to add up after a minute.
Yep. So I think it's about as looks like close to as good as a Grey Knight list as you can get.
I think they're going to be super cool when they get 2 wounds, but hopefully they don't have some idiot writing their book that makes them crazy. So
Matt Ward.
they need to put the guy that wrote the Space Wolves book on them, so they're definitely not going to be OP. So.
Yeah.
All right, fellas, we could probably call her a night there. I think we got through all of our lists.
Can we do my list?
Well, your list.
What's your list?
Yeah, Doctor, let's talk about your
Let's
list.
fucking
Let's
hear
hear it.
Let's see it. I will destroy it.
Oh,
Where's it at?
never mind.
Where's it at?
Go ahead, homie.
No, I made an AdMech list. I didn't post it anywhere. I
Post it in the chat
Well,
right
we're here.
now.
Drop it.
1 second.
We're doing it live.
Yep. How many attachments?
1.
Oh,
Mars?
it's in the podcast chat.
All right, let's see. We got a call. Okay, starting good.
Not bad.
Daedalus says, what's his Warlord trait?
That one lets you fall back, or with the AdMech vehicles, or what was the other one? Part of that.
There's 3 of them, right? Every one will have those new powers are 3 each or something like that.
Yeah, the other part of it, it's the fall back, and then there's something else that's really good about it. Now I can't.
Is that the half range extra AP or no?
Yes.
I'm already.
Right. Yep.
I don't like that part of it. We'll get to there though.
And he does
other
something
guy-
else too, doesn't he? Is he the one that, like, if you're within a certain
Oh,
range,
yeah,
you
that
get
one,
extra bonus?
The Daedalosis lets you pick a unit within 24 inches that you can see, and they add all your AdMech gets a +1 to hit on that unit. So that guy is really good. The tech.
But you're
person-
not using him to his full potential.
Why?
In my opinion. Okay, so let's just go through your list. You got Call, Daedalosis, Tech Priest Engineer, Cataphront Destroyers. Okay.
With plasma pulver.
With plasma, yep.
Yeah.
Two Rangers, 2 Electro Priests.
Yeah, 1 shooty and 1 fighty.
Yep. Then you got a fucking fat unit of Ballast Army. 2 Cerberus Raiders, good. Scorpius Disintegrators, good. And Scorpius Dune Rider. Okay, so
I got some points left over, but I haven't decided what to do.
So my first instinct is that Ballastar unit is. Do you own 6?
Don't worry about me.
Do you own 6? How many do you own?
I
Good.
don't know any.
Good. Okay. You don't. I don't hate those guys, but I mean that's what 12 las cannons.
Correct. I thought about autocannons, but I'm not sure.
So, with
like
me in that, I don't mind autocannons. I don't mind mixing in like 1 or 2 las cannons in there. It saves you a couple points.
Yeah.
And it's still a pretty decent shooting. Do you have the exploding 6s on your tech
Yes.
priest, I'm guessing? Yeah.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, like, it's nice when you're shooting, 4 las cannons, and all of a sudden it's turning into 6 las cannon shots.
Yeah, it gets pretty spicy with that +1 to wound strat. So that's basically what I have for them, because that +1 to wound
I don't like
strat is nice.
I don't like 6 las cannons. I would rather just see 1 or 2 las cannons and the rest
That's fair.
auto cannons. I know
Well,
Dan doesn't like, but that's where I sit on them.
I just don't. I will never be a fan of that fat of a unit of them. That's just a lot of points. But what I was going back to say with Daedalosus, so this is what I've kind of seen. You take Daedalosus, he's not your warlord. You take Daedalosus and then 3 units of servitors with as many multi-meltas as they can take, which is like I think 2. But they're dirt cheap. Mm-hmm. And then Daedalosus and all the servitors go into Strategic Reserve, and then they come on from Strategic Reserve. Daedalosus picks a unit so they're near Daedalosus. I think he bumps into BS4 then, and then Daedalosus gives him +1 to hit against that target. So you come on from reserve and you dump 12 some multi-multi shots in, hitting on 3s. I think re-rolling 1s if you have the. I don't know if they're affected by that or not, but I mean,
they should be.
But that's a nice little outflanking package that people have to respect.
I'll have to look into that. I have not even looked at servitors because they're usually fucking garbage. So.
Yeah, that's the only time I feel like that it's kind of cute.
I don't get why you have both unit of Electro Priests, because I feel like one's gonna get left, out to dry kind of thing.
One of them I would outflank, and then one of them would be the shooty guys. I would probably do the outflank Strategic Reserve since they have a 12-inch range, and then I would probably put the fighty boys inside of the Dune Rider.
So that 12-inch range, I feel like I can dictate a lot of where you're gonna go or what you're gonna shoot with them.
I guess I see 12-inch range, but basically from the board edge, it's 18, since I'm only within 6.
Still, I feel like I can dictate what you're gonna shoot with them.
That's fair.
If you're gonna deep strike them. If I don't mind seeing them in a drill or something like that. I know that was the thing people.
Dude,
put them in
priests. I looked at drills. Yeah. They're fucking expensive. They're 180 points now.
What they're good. T8, 14 wounds, 5 Melta shots.
Yeah.
So
the guns actually got better on them suckers.
Yeah. The thing I like about AdMech is AdMech, like their spot in the meta. I almost feel like is kind of like they're almost the premier Mortal Wound faction.
Yep.
But to that degree, I feel like you're not leaning into that hard enough.
So what would be a better unit to use the Wrath of Mars, since that's basically their
robots? Robots.
Robots are expensive as fuck.
They're expensive.
They are
125
expensive.
points a model or something like that. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't hate robots, but I don't think robots are survivable enough necessarily.
That's what my 1 or 2 games with them. That's what I ran into.
So I'd have to go reread it, but I know some people were doing. Is it the one of the flyers? Is it the Flamer flyers or the other flyers that do mortals when they run over people?
Oh, that's
the jump troops.
Oh, Jesus Christ! What are those guys called?
There's one of those that they get out of you can put them in a transport. They can get out of the transport. Then they can move up, like you basically jump over somebody, or just you don't have to move past them. You just gotta go over them and come back, and it'll do a handful of mortals doing that. And then I think they have one of them has 50 shot, 5 shots apiece.
Flechette blasters. That is the Petriac C sterilizers, or what the fuck they're called.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
I think there's that. The other one is the bomber. Like the bombers are dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Like 120 points, 130 points.
Yep.
They're ridiculously mobile now, and like
Transvector.
where you can put them wherever you want, basically.
Well, and against I gotta go reread some stuff, the exact wording, because anyway, I gotta reread it. I'm 90% sure it doesn't work on Death Guard, but it definitely works on like Dark Angel's Terminators or Ben's Terminators or anything like that. The half movement ability, so against anybody running like a big Death Star.
I tossed around putting a couple of those copters in too, instead of a few other things for that strat specifically. Just because, I feel like this army's weakness is a fast-moving, or just in general, just a big chunky assault unit.
It is. Yeah.
Slowing them down would be pretty important. So I've tossed
that's
that
what
around.
Your raiders are there to slow stuff down. You run around, move block with them. And then if they
true.
get charged, you run away. If they get shot, that's okay. No big deal.
Yep. The hell, it might not.
I also
die.
like the Scorpius disintegrators are 50-50 for me. There's a lot of Terminators out there right now, and there's a lot of those one-up saves, and they have a lot of AP1 guns, so you're not going to go through that armor quick enough. I kind of like the Doom Crawlers. Sure, they have the same AP, but they're cheap, and they still throw out the same amount of shots, or a decent amount of shots.
I have mine with the Belarus, or excuse me, the Formerite cannon. So it's the -3, not the.
Is that the -3 cannon? Okay.
Yeah.
That's a little bit better then. Yeah.
I don't like that Belarus energy cannon anymore, just because of that -1 AP. It needs an extra AP to be worth it, in my opinion.
You know what I think the weaknesses list is?
The player
playing it.
Well, on that note, it's been real. It's been fun. We'll see y'all later.
Well, and the other I was going to say is the other thing you can think about is, are you set on pure AdMech?
Not necessarily.
Because I think AdMech have a lot of tools, but I think looking at pairing them with somebody that fixes that pretty important hole of being like a melee, aggressive, move forward unit. Custodes or anything else, you want to do it, but you want to do it as cheap as possible to be able to maximize your AdMech. That's where I think a lot of people struggle, and that's souping is hard. So, but I think if you could pick something up there, that would help. So, but you've got some of the. I think you got some of it down. I think there's just there's a lot.
It's not the worst list I've seen.
No, I think it's easy to start.
Not yet.
Yeah. Well, the problem is, it's what, February? So, March, April, May, June, July. So, we won't see on a table for 5-6 months. So, by that point,
Get
this
your
might,
tickets at flymonkeycon.com. They're up for sale.
Yeah.
How many tickets did you sell before you said that?
Well, somebody fucking let the cat out of the bag when I made it on BCP. Somebody was combing through that shit, and it was like, oh,
dude,
look at this.
I think there are like BCP creepers out there because I'll put up an event, and like before I even put it like in our local team chats, like people have already bought tickets, and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Like,
you get like notifications pinging on their phone and shit. Yeah. But Sean, to tell you how many we've sold so far is 16.
Not bad.
I'm one of them.
Not even being announced yet, so.
No.
Yeah, if you want that sweet tier 1 swag, get in there. We have koozies for Jason Horn this year.
Oh, yes.
And then we're also doing bags. We have bags for people, like tote bags. So, but the koozies look pretty cool. So you can make a Met gun, whatever you want to make out of them. So we'll have them.
There's only 4 tier 1 tickets left. So if you're listening to this, you should probably buy your ticket like now.
Want to snag?
I'll be there. This will be my first Flying Monkey.
Good, man. Good.
Dude, you're gonna learn today.
It's a good time.
What am I gonna learn?
You're gonna learn.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna learn Duncan's late on everything, and usually the monkeys just be yelling at him on a deadline. So,
no, monkey, I am not late on. That's one thing I don't fuck around with.
Last year, you did a bang up job last year. You did a good job.
What do you guys?
Even though I had to get real pissed at somebody, and I never do.
Yeah. What's that, Dan?
I would say, what are you guys bringing to Holton?
But I'm probably gonna dance with the girl I brought to the dance, and just keep running the sisters. I've been hitting up Sean and playing with a Death Guard list. I might run the Death Guard list at RTT this weekend, see how it does. But more than likely, I'm pretty efficient with the sisters right now, so I'm probably gonna end up just running them.
I'm running. Oh, go ahead.
No, as I say, I looked in my ITC battles, and like with the scissors right now, I'm like 18-2, so I'm doing pretty well with them.
For sure.
Don't try.
I'm running basically the same list, but I've moved some points around to where I've added Death X Warp Time.
Yeah,
classic.
Death X Warp Time Morty is going to be a thing. You have to figure it out.
I got the counter for that. It's called Gazgul.
I feel like I can kill Gazgul pretty quick. I mean, I guess it's not Well, actually, I do have some tricks, so I can do some wounds in the movement phase and stuff like that too. So
Your little ghetto grenade. You ain't killing
there's
gas.
there's some
Taking you at
stuff.
least 2
There's some
turns.
stuff I can do.
Hey,
There's
you
some
know what
stuff I
my
can do.
answer to killing Morty is?
Not playing
him.
40k.
I've been testing mana cores, full payload mana cores, and I want to play against Death Guard so bad. She's fucking Vengeance for Cadia, most OP strat in the game.
Make a Cornwell rack it up for you, man.
Yeah, he's trying to. We wrote him a Death Guard, and what's the Iron Hands?
Iron Warriors.
Iron Warriors.
Iron Warriors. Yeah, we
Kmart
wrote him a
Iron Hands.
Death Guard. I think he's testing a Death Guard Iron Warriors list.
Yeah. Or,
Does he bring a
no,
bunch of decimators?
No, dude, fucking a Blitz. Literally the best shooting Chaos have. Fucking Iron Warrior Blitz. They chug CP like Red Bull, but they can.
And then you can semi-character them where you can't shoot them unless they're the closest too, so you can kind of.
That got too ghetto. We didn't try to pull that off on the list.
Oh yeah.
that was too ghetto.
Was it a consideration though? It had to at least be a consideration.
We talked about it, but the Iron Warrior one is you got to be all the cultists have to be within 6 inches.
Nah, man, stupid.
Yeah. But so he's trying that out, and cookies. Dude, you poisoned that poor dude with those fucking Tyranid. He literally is messaging me right now. He's like, I have the opportunity to buy a bunch of gaunts. Like, he's talking about buying 150 gaunts.
He messaged me the other day. He's like, man, that box set I want. I've been just diving into, I'm paraphrasing, but basically Homeboy's been like looking for all the Tyranid jank out there, and he's trying to do it now. So
if you talk to him about Tyranids, even though he's never used him, he's like, oh, dude, I'll just shoot what's the little spore mine fuckers, the little. He's like, I'm gonna block you with spore mines. Just gonna block you with spore mines. Just get fucked, and it's just. or Hive Guard. Hive Guard is 2018 again, baby.
Hive Guard are good though. They went down in points in this last gimmick, so
yeah,
we'll see. It's fun to see him at least excited about something else. So
yeah,
but
yeah.
I didn't think it'd be Tyranids. I didn't picture him to be the Tyranid guy.
Well, and he keeps writing 180 gaunt lists, and I'm like, dude, you are not gonna enjoy 180 gaunts. Like, just to push that around the table.
But there's synapse.
Buy some movement trays. Yeah.
Yeah.
Synapse, they don't go away.
Going from a 20 model Custode army to 180 model Gaunt army.
Ridiculous.
It's gonna be funny. So.
Yeah, that's good. What's Cookie running? He doing the Custody thing?
Yeah, I think he bought a bunch of Scions, and so he tested out a Scion list with Custodies last night. Dude, his goddamn Venatari. I don't know what it is about when he play. He had while we were talking about the Krieg grenades, his Venatari unit got gas grenaded twice on. He was transhumaning against the gas grenades to try to keep him alive, and but he had one Venatari by himself. Like this one Venatari was the only thing alive on that flank for like 2 turns by itself before the fucking thing finally died. But yeah, he's doing some sort of Custodies. So
nice.
Yeah.
Dan, you started playing
Gaskell.
What else?
I'm 90% doing. It's a similar version of my orcs, probably with the Gaskell in there, just to have something. That's my answer to trying to hold an objective is put fucking Gaskell on it.
Gotcha.
I can hold it for a turn then. So.
Should be more than a turn, but yeah. So you gonna match up with Josh Dirth round 1?
I have no idea.
Or is he playing as an Outlander since he's over where you're at now?
No.
So, all right, on that note, it's time to go home. So thanks for coming in tonight, guys. Like I said, Duncan got the tickets up for Monkey, www.flyingmonkeycon.com. We got 4 of the tier 1 left. Like I said, word got out. BCP started getting around for some reason, and we have some legendary swag bags that we've given out every year. So also Bug Eater Dan.
It's the first weekend in June. I know that they're doing the main GT on Saturday, Sunday, 6 rounds.
Okay.
And I think they're talking about doing something Friday, but I'm not sure exactly.
Where can they get tickets at?
I think it's bugeatergt.com. Just Google it.
Okay.
Look on Facebook.
Sean, Show Me Showdown.
Yeah, Show Me Showdown, July 10th and 11th.
Yeah, Nate Martin
In
running
KC.
that one. So
Yeah.
if I get a 4 on paint score and you guys see the building on fire, you know what happens. So,
I'm not doing paint scores, so don't talk to me.
yeah,
But I will be judging, and I'll put my leg up on a table if you need it.
my man. I'm my man. Just wear them
He's
shorty
gonna
shorts.
distract the paint
Yeah.
judge just to fuck your scores.
Yeah. All right, guys, closing around. Anyone got anything to add?
Go watch the Mortal Kombat
Yes.
trailer that just dropped. It's pretty fucking badass.
Dude, 2 trailers right now got me excited for movies again. Godzilla vs. Kong and Mortal Kombat. Like I'm hoping to get some good movies out of the COVID rut we've been in. So
Yep.
looking forward to those. All right, guys. If wargaming was easy, it would be your mom. We'll see you next week. We'll be doing our drawing for Patreon. Peace out.